back at each one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Well, what a group. This is I think cozy in here. It just feels so cozy in here. There's just us, we're just doing the 274th consecutive in an unbroken chain of full moon ceremonies, and here we are. We are here now doing that. It's like I'll never forget it. It's amazing.
Well, we have some friends here tonight who've followed the chapel adventure, through decades.
Yes.
And we're in our 21st year.
21st year, yep. And
of full moon ceremonies.
But
so
we're entering our 22nd year, I believe.
Just next month.
Next month, because we started January of 2003. And, we started because, well,
we
go
wanted
ahead.
We had this vision.
How far back can you go?
I
Most
know.
of you know that we had a vision in 85 that we were going to build a temple. And it was on our first MDMA experience. It's just we were lying there, not talking or touching, and we both came out of it having this vision of this chapel. So we talked about it. Yak, 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 Did nothing, yak, yak, yak. Did a little more, got to be a nonprofit in 96. Yak, yak, yak. Go around the world and tell everybody, like, hey, it'd be a great idea to create a sacred space, like a contemporary temple, that celebrates art, because all religions and all faiths and all, traditions have sacred
temples,
sacred
absolutely.
Temples, yeah.
And, a lot of artists have wanted to build sacred spaces, and I think it's a natural thing that people who have experiences, spiritual experiences, somehow want to integrate those experiences into everyday life, bring them more to themselves, to their friends, to their family, because it lights up the love in our lives. And we chose this symbol of the full moon really because a shaman recommended that we do so.
Right.
And that.
Right, but let me just say one thing before we
Yes.
go to the shaman. Is the one thing we say is that the inevitable consequence of love is the building of temples, and that's because, we love each other, but then you guys kind of like all come here and to love each other too. So we were finding that people were looking for the others to sort of celebrate the Creator in ourselves. And so,
the full moon to us seemed like the perfect symbol, really, because it is also a mirror, reflecting the greater light of the sun. So just like each one of us reflect the greater light of spirit. And so it seemed like this apt metaphor, especially for the sacred mirrors. And
so
Alex
Stark
Stark had suggested, and he had heard us talk about this, yapping for 15 years or so, hey, we should do the full moon ceremonies. Because in my tradition, if a thing is going to happen, then this will do it. This will bring community together. If there is community for this purpose, then they'll show up. And so it was amazing, because now we're here in a chapel, and we had no idea when we started out that it could even exist.
or how we would get there.
Or how we would get there. I still don't understand it, actually.
Well, you just go where you're called. Everything that feels like it looks more like a chapel, you go there. So but just remember that when you have an intention, when you have decisions to make, you just always make them in light of, your big
ultimate
intention.
aim. Yeah.
But in any case, so we have the the big old full moon tonight, and we celebrated to celebrate the fullness of, you know, the high tide of the spirit. Really, is the full moon. The moon looks beautiful tonight. But the 274th full moon, we like to add those numbers together to give our self a sense of place in time. So, because we are here for the 274th, and you know that's and people out there too, and we get the number 4. Look at that. You got it up on the screen there. No, so I just thought maybe I would just take 1 minute to tell you why. Well, the square, you know, represents stability, and it is the material world symbol, really, because it's so much more a human-made symbol. You know, you can see circles in nature, you can see even triangles in nature, and even 5-pointed plants everywhere, and 7-pointed plants. But the square is very rare in nature, and why did I choose it for my art? Because I've been dedicated to the square for, you know,
As long as I've known
45
you.
years, like really a long time, almost as long, yeah. But basically, psychedelics told me to essentialize. It always led me toward an essentialized worldview. I'll put it that way. You know, it's like everything boils down to that kind of thinking. And I was thinking, you know, on psychedelics, that I was an artist, which is basically a symbol maker, for one thing. And I had seen these symbols, you know, wafting through the air in my vision, psychedelic vision. But also that as a symbol maker, I am making something in the material world, because art, by the way, isn't art if it's an imagination thing in your mind. Like if you have a picture in your mind, which is brilliant, it is brilliant, but it isn't art. Art is evidence and intention. It's the intention of it to be art, you know, and it is always evidence. Even if you're a conceptual artist, you have to have like a little sign or something that says, you know, your intention. So in any case, I just felt like that was the most human-made symbol. This is like a human-made object that is a symbol for something else, something of my psychedelic vision. And my art has always been symbolizing my psychedelic vision. You know, that's then.
Hey,
yeah.
I think you're going to describe that a little later in the show too.
Oh,
You wanna
let's keep going then.
have a seat?
Let's sit down and keep going. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really true. Thank you for letting me give you that initiation, because
Well,
it does come up.
The 4 and the square. It's great to stabilize.
And it's tonight. I think it's
great
so
foundation.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a kind of a program that we prepared on the theme of cosmic creativity. Has anybody seen any drones in the sky? Actually, yeah? Yeah, okay, yeah. Really? Is that so? I want to see that later. Okay, you know, because you know, I'm thinking that if we do encounter them, you know, imagine that they can hear your thoughts, and you can relate to them, and say, you know, can you hear my thoughts? Blink once. Okay? Now, and if they do, then hello, are you here to help humanity? You know, blink once. You know, and so anyway, consider
Yeah.
an encounter as well.
Report
It's
back
nice-
if you get any evidence.
Yeah.
Really, we're very curious over here. Okay.
Well, it's nice to hear, though, that they might be near Entheon, and Trevor actually saw one very near here as well. And these may be cosmic friends of some kind. They may be perhaps beings that have been here a long time.
Well, let's look at the cosmos in
Okay.
terms of cosmic creativity. Here we go. Let's see. Consciousness is a cosmic force.
Yes. I mean, look, right? I mean, it's either the brain produces it, and no brain scientist thinks that's true anymore, you know? Or maybe consciousness was always there, and it's certainly is inherent as a cosmic force because we're all conscious. We don't understand consciousness, but we're all conscious. Okay.
Okay, so let's
So-
go on. So
Right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be seeing this, sitting here, right?
So God is the divine artist, and cosmos is the evolving masterpiece of creation.
I don't think that's a mythology. That sounds like just what's happening,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
And
with you.
so, as an artist, you're working with that, whatever the creative force of the universe is, you know?
Well, Alex is very fond, and I am too, of using the word God. But if it is not your word, you can always replace it with Creator, or Almighty, or a force of the universe, or whatever name you want to call it. You know, when I first saw what I call God, I heard a voice that said, you know, this is what some people call God. That's what it said.
Well, now, these are the words of Deepak Chopra, but he says, we're evolving toward unity consciousness, where we experience ourselves as cosmic beings participating in the evolution of the universe. The human body is part of the cosmic body. The human mind is part of the cosmic mind. Awakening to the cosmic dimension
Of ourselves is profoundly restorative. With that experience and understanding, we bring healing to our wounded planet and a new sense of adventure to the human journey. Deepak Chopra.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's true. This is my little painting that's on the bottom of the cosmic Christ. This is supposed to symbolize the beginning, you know, let there be light. That's next one.
Yeah.
And or Big Bang, you know, kind of moment. You know, what's interesting about in our, you know, concepts of this kind of like creation myth of science here is they're saying like what 300 million years or so before light. You know, so it's just starts and there's some invisible plasmic expansion happening. You know, and nobody who's there to observe it, but no photons could actually exist until it like cooled down enough. And then it, over nearly 14 billion years, it's expanded into, this is the largest array kind of web of the superclusters. This is the web of superclusters known and seen, the largest map of the universe.
I just don't understand how anybody can propose that this is a picture of the universe when it's floating in a black background. Does that mean that, what happens when you step off the edge there? To me, it has to be a field, but it does have to be a field that doubles back on itself too. I mean, that's what people say. Who knows? Anyway, I know nothing about it.
Well,
really.
this is a very cool, you know, sort of. So that cosmic web. These are like the maps of the superclusters. So you can see the kind of galactic web that's going on. Just yeah.
Yep, here we go.
And this is like, if you're in the Milky Way here, like looking out into the web there. So next. So
There's the
here's our
Milky Way.
local galaxy here. Few billion stars.
Here, you take it.
Sure.
Sure.
And our wonderful source of light here on Earth. And really, we're all like light beings, like one of the most amazing things Carl Sagan said, we're made of star stuff, and you think like, oh, that's kind of poetic, but actually, literally, you probably understand or have heard as well that the elements in our bodies were forged in supernova explosions over billions of years, and we couldn't exist, if just hydrogen and helium. It took cosmic evolution in order for us to have biological evolution. And so that kind of creativity is insane. It's insane, And just on a tiny little blue speck in the middle of emptiness, it's mostly empty, black, like what? 3 to 5% is even the material universe in the universe. Mostly it's just like what? Like
Black space.
Yeah, it's like
Black.
dark energy, dark
energy,
matter. But we can see a similar kind of webbing. We understand that neurons look a lot like mycelium, look a lot like the galactic web, So we're connected and really extensions of that whole, chain of being, that incredible, great chain of being.
We as individuals are only possible because of cosmic and biological evolution unfolding precisely through the entire chain of being. We each are extensions of the cosmic creative process. That was written by Alex, obviously. This is Alex's drawing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, in case you couldn't read it, God creates everything with love. Creating with love aligns us with God. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Visionary artists regard their work as a sacred path and feel connected with humanity's creative impulse as transmitted through all creative arts.
yeah, I mean, it looks like the arts have always been the working hand in hand with religion, basically. It's kind of been the way that or that cultural expression of spirit happens. And so now, for people who have had psychedelic experiences, and they may have given up on God, but then they went to an ayahuasca circle, and they, well, maybe I was premature about that. I'm not sure what it was, but I think it felt spiritual to me, and so we're seeing unusual beings and relating with them, and maybe even these are kind of beings that we're always working with. Maybe our ancestors are hovering around us. Maybe we have an entourage of spiritual friends that we bring. I like to think that they're all here tonight with us. Yeah. And that they're all getting along famously.
Yes, of course.
And sharing in the spiritual vortex that a spiritual gathering creates.
I like this statement that you said, though. Okay. Creativity is materialized theophany, an outer world artifact of an inner world revelation. That's a you statement, and I love it.
I think that visionary art has always done that, but here's Beethoven. Why don't you read Beethoven?
Yes, there is no loftier mission than to approach the Godhead nearer than other people and to disseminate the divine rays among humanity. Didn't he know all about that?
Well, that sounds like an arrogant thing, unless you're Beethoven.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we connect with our ancestors through the medium of art.
Right. Now, up in the little girl who's modeled after our daughter, Zena, up in her funnel there's a kind of very ghostly William Blake, and this is reading The Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright. So
there you go. Making art aligns us with the cosmic creative force. We are all artists of life. Consciousness is our primary medium. Authoring the story of our lives, we paint our picture of reality.
Yeah, well, this is the way that we can use the kind of the metaphor, the symbol. I mean, all of us have to be creative. Every new moment is a creative thing, and every new thought is actually a new creation. So all of us are creating all the time. And so it's up to us to imagine, the most creative way that we can tell the story of our lives, and we can hold ourselves. And it's kind of like, that's, it shows up as healing, if we can love ourselves in our authoring of our tale of the story of our lives. So it's actually a very creative endeavor, how we hold it. And
It's always a good idea to tell the good story, and keep the bad story for like your journal, or your or like your mother or your partner or somebody privately, but basically to share because it is a good story. There's something good going on, and the more you can, kind of bring that out into the world, the better it will be for you and everyone. Really, truly. It's not that you shouldn't be authentic. It's just look authentically for the good story, because it's there. That's all. Well, anyway, here we have. We are sacred mirrors, reflections of a greater light. The visionary artist becomes a medium through which a greater light may become visible, shining in their creative works.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Well,
Yeah.
and the arts link us with this flow of creative spirit, and it's a way to express the emotions, the subjective state of an artist or a person into an object. So it literally objectifies the subjective state. And that is a way of basically transcending the state you might feel stuck in. It's the reason why it's awesome that if you're feeling depressed or something like that, that just creating something, even making a picture of your monster that's, will get the monster out of the box. And then you look at it from a new perspective. You get a new perspective. And like therapists say that the only way that you can kind of get out of the one state is to have a more objective, way of looking at a more objective perspective on what your emotions are. And so this literally objectifies the emotion.
Yeah,
so it's a great tool.
It's what art therapy is based on. Is basically
Absolutely.
that getting the monster out of the box.
Yeah.
Okay, so onward.
Anything else? Let's see. Well, I love that if you study the history of art,
Right.
that you're connecting with every world culture, and it becomes a context for holding the religions of all the world. Just appreciate their sacred art. It's a way to make contact with that, because the wisdom is stored in the iconography and the temples and things like that. And it's a way that we can appreciate. I think of it as one spirit that goes through all of them in beautiful ways. Just like we're each a reflection, a unique reflection. Okay. So, hey.
This is Bond.
Yeah, our friend.
Just wanted to mention his name. Bond.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah.
Our fave.
Music of liberation.
For the 80s.
You are free. All right. So artists, I think artists could work with angels, like I was saying. So I've been doing some angels of art there. And, and how do we get inspiration? I don't know. These are ways of symbolizing the way that happens, like a visionary field comes and kisses us on the third eye. And then this is a piece maybe I'm still working on. It's called theurgy, but it's a way of, like you could think of the higher self as, connecting you with whatever the highest beyond form spirit is. And, but it's like a bridge, between you and that higher state. So that the creative imagination, that's what I think Ibn Arabi used to call our angel. And
well, I would just like to propose, and you can correct me, but that theurgy has to do with practice, the practice of a spiritual discipline in any, like if you do your prostrations or if you do whatever your spiritual practice is, that's theurgy.
that's right. It's meant
rituals
to
too.
connect you with spirit. Right. It's a practice to connect you with spirit. And so I like to think of creative expression or art in any form as being that. Why isn't it that? It's creative spirit. I don't, anyway. So that's what that's about. And this is like, you have an idea in your heart, you think about it. How am I going to do anything with that thing? And you need a medium. So the medium seems like delivered by a divine hand, and then you can get it outside of yourself, You're enabled with a tool. And so, yeah.
Well, this is
you
sort
put
of,
that in there.
I put this in. I took this picture. I was there when this happened, and what happened was, after some of you know our story well, but after I saw Secret Writing in 1971, I started meditating and I became a spiritual person, which I hadn't been before, and. But I was just an art student, just like Alex, and I met him in art school, and we were in performance art class together. But in any case, Alex came to my end-of-year party and tripped on acid for the first time there, and we never left. We basically, we met the next day, and he told me about how he had seen God, and I had also seen God, but I hadn't told anybody because it was, early to mid 70s, and people were not, God was dead, and people were not like, you couldn't have any friends that way. You just basically, it was just, something that I had held and also put into my work in the form of secret writing. That was the secret, folks, really, was that I couldn't really talk about it with anybody, but I had seen God. But anyway, when Alex told me, and he came up with this whole sort of, belief system called Polar Unity, which he, has published, and beautiful, beautiful early writing by Alex. So anyway, I took the picture. He did this painting, and we were bonded. But I have it now. Okay, hold on. So this was some early secret writing for me. Before I met Alex, this was the kind of stuff I pulled out on our second date, where I showed him like all my work. You know what I mean? When you really interested in a person, and then you just like spend the whole day like catching up on like, well, what have you been doing? And this was art that I wasn't showing anybody in school. I was just doing it like obsessively, kind of. Well, anyway. You've seen the show downstairs, I hope, and if you haven't afterwards, just take a little extra look, because now you know more about it than you knew when you walked in, maybe. But the secret writing came out of me. It changed my entire master's thesis. I had to decide that it was about secret writing, and Alex was the one that identified that in my work. I mean, he said, look, if that's what this is, then you should really pay attention and you should really use it as your art. But then I couldn't tell my review board or any of the faculty about it. And so they didn't understand at all what I was doing. But I was a good writer. I made up some stuff, about writing and art and things like that. I learned a lot. But these were the stampers that I had made. I made 20 stampers because we didn't have Illustrator, so I had to print something. We didn't have desktop publishing. Anyway, this was, downstairs. You've seen some of these. I won't dwell. Of course, the arch shape is a sacred geometry, all right? That window has got a base which is connected to earth. It's like grounded. and then it has this arch, which is heavenly. You know, it's a half a circle, which is the shape with one side, and it's about the one. So anyway, I always loved that, and Alex actually made some paintings that shape after I did this. We've been sharing a studio for 50 years, so we go back and forth. But here we were, and I'm saying we were together for a year. He tripped in my apartment. I was tripping too, but I was giving this party, and I had been tripping already for 6 years. So Alex came in a little later, and he just didn't think he should do it earlier, and I think he was extremely wise. It's good to wait, but anyway, we would put our blindfolds on, not talking or touching. I told you, and we, came out. But this was just 1 year later. Alex had the Universal Mind Lattice experience, and you'll see the Universal Mind Lattice in the Sacred Mirrors room if you're not familiar with the title. But this was my response to, this simultaneous vision of a field, a vast vista of fountains and drains of energy. And all I could do was try to point to it. It was just like so awkward, just trying to point to the, because it was in and it was out. Anyway, I found the square because it tessellates. It fits together real nice, and it's cells and, and systems. Like your body has cells and it has systems and it has particles and waves. So I thought it was something like creating another kind of a symbol for order. And this is what I call order. I mean, it's a funnel. It's like looking in it like a fountain and a drain from the top. And it was colored and spectral. And then this was the vast vista, the field of fountains and drains that were all interconnected and made of light. So this is just another representation of that. Every question that I had about where I should go with my work went to how does it fit with your psychedelic vision? You know what I mean? You just keep going for the vision that you had. And my visions don't include people. They're really the patterns that I see behind my eyes, my eyelids. Anyway, chaos came into order because order does break up into chaos. It's an inevitable entropy. It's the material world. So this became my symbol for the material world. You can kind of see a little mapping there. There's almost a river running through it, These were early pieces where I was having them floating in space. Anyway, I did public murals, for a bank. I did a 30-foot mural for a bank. There I am with my 30-foot mural. Yeah. I did other lobbies too, and numerous other banks. But this is a more recent piece. It's called Complementary Planned Randomness. And I just like to divulge a few little things about my work so that when you go down there, you'll see it. It'll be a friend to my work. But it's basically complementary is colors. This is my essentialized worldview. They are opposing colors on the color wheel. Orange is opposing blue, and purple is opposing yellow, and green is opposing red. So, and there's 19 different matches, configurations of those colors within here, which I know is like 19. I don't even know how you could figure out how many there are. But chaos, order, and secret writing. Secret writing is the language of creative expression. That's what I try to portray it as. It's the symbol for creative expression, and it's my personal symbol series for creative expression. And they're really empty and meaningless. Okay, they are containers. They're vessels. They're the void. You can put whatever meaning in them you would like, but more than likely, the meaning that I'd really love them to take on is that they are related to my work. And that is, so that if you would see it, say, in New Zealand, in 20 years, you might say, I've seen that before. And it wouldn't even have to have my name attached to it, but you basically would have remembered. These are newer works. Post-COVID, things changed, and I'm doing X in a cross field. Let's see, should I say something about it? What does it say there? Under the influence of psychedelics, the experience of transcendental light of spirit unifies us with the collective. Psychedelics dissolve the boundaries of who we think we are and reveal a glimpse of our ultimate nature, unity within our boundless inner selves and the infinite outer realm. So that's X in a cross field.
That's a beautiful statement, and I'd say that our work shares the subject of transcendental light. You know.
Yeah. This is a rainbow cross. You know, it's like we are us, and when we're really integrated with our community, it's just there's a field all around us. You know, this is one, a recent piece. You'll see these outside of the Mushroom Cafe. It's called Pearlescent Crossfield in Spectral Rain. I'm very literal when I describe my work. It's the only way I can remember which one's which. So. But you look at it closely, you'll see the pearlescent crosses are floating in formation on top of the spectral rain. And I've been playing with that. This is a new set of letters that I came up with in the muddy Burning Man of 2 summers ago, and stuck in, or happily ensconced in our trailer. I just came up with 100 new letters. And then I created a pearlescent secret writing in Spectral Rain. Yeah. And this is the newest oil painting. You'll see these, well, this one I don't think you'll see yet, but you may see it. And it's just a spectrum with the complementary colors, Everywhere there's blue, there's orange. Everywhere there's purple, there's yellow. Everywhere there's green, there is red. So, it's like it goes opposite from each other. I love to play with that. And all right, well, now here we are at the CoSM Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. What should we say about this?
Well, I guess just that we've always been intrigued with sacred space since we had that vision that we should build a temple or a chapel, So we started visiting them all over the world, whenever we'd get invited to do a festival one place or another, or we were bait for people to go to Egypt or something, So, so we've seen a lot of places and studied, the creation of sacred space.
And like how did a community do it? Or who did it?
They did it in all different ways.
All different ways.
All different kinds of ways. Mm-hmm. But it takes community. That's the connector.
And there are contemporary sacred spaces. You can go out just outside of Chicago and see the Baha'i Temple. It's the only Baha'i temple in North America. It's amazing. Anyway, it's a wonderful pilgrimage. But this is our first full moon.
There's Alex Stark, the shaman that advised us how to begin the full moon ceremony. So this is an early one there. And so the idea of the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors and the mission of CoSM is to build an enduring sanctuary of visionary art to uplift a global community. So that's why we had to kind of own the property. We couldn't do it in a rented space in Chelsea, which is it.
We did do it there, but it was a practice.
We did it there as the kind of practice for the. There's Paul Chrisofi and Ollie Vernon and Sharon, who's still working with us.
Sharon's been with us for 21, 22 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of artists got together and created this sacred space. It was there for 5 years, from 2004 to 2009. And we had a lot of wonderful, amazing.
Yeah, every moment is an opportunity for love and transformation. I still love that. And we painted it on the wall.
It's a good sentiment.
Yeah.
That's the way it looked.
There we were in the Sacred Mirrors room, which looks very similar to this Sacred Mirrors room, except that it was about 10 feet narrower. It was like a hallway. And this one is a little bit wider. And we have plans for the future, too.
Oh, yeah.
But here's a beautiful
the Gray House.
CoSM Chapel Sacred Mirrors. This This is us.
Yeah, and kind of welcoming Kate Rodenbush's piece there with the community back in 2009.
We've had some weddings down there by the.
Right.
Yep, and more weddings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a number.
And
We used to have the full moon.
in the library where you'll visit tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But, there'll be a fire going on in there. But, we've got this place now
Yeah, now I
to
think
hold the full moons.
Now I think next week is the last bonfire,
We're
if
gonna,
I'm not mistaken.
We're going to do one next week,
Yeah, I
for the
believe
winter
so.
solstice. And
Yeah.
it's fun. Come back if you can. And we'd love to see you again.
Right.
And the inevitable consequence of love is the building of temples. And that's what we say.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is the idea. Of course, you've probably seen it before, but this building we want to wrap with like basically 30 faces of one giant head. Now, you see, so it's like the head goes all around. Now, I found this really incredibly amazing quote from a 4th century Neoplatonic philosopher named Plotinus, okay? It reminded me of the design for Entheon. So, since we look towards the outside, away from the point at which we are all joined together, we are unaware of the fact that we are one. We are like faces turned towards the outside, but attached on the inside to one single head. If we could turn around, then all at once, we would see God, ourselves, the all.
It's like being, like attached or connected to eternity. That you could go back that far and have somebody say something that's so relevant to what our vision is as well.
Well, Plotinus could have designed it himself.
Honestly, he probably did.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Plotinus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've been here. We've seen this.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily the history of every individual thing, but this is
Right.
a drawing. It came from a drawing, a life-size drawing that Alex made on paper and folded up in a suitcase that we took to Bali to have somebody carve it, and then we couldn't
Then
use
we-
a wooden door on a
Yeah.
public building.
You can't use
So
that
we
on
so
a
we scanned it and had it cast in bronze.
It's
And there it
800
is.
pounds a piece, but they work real good.
But that is to say, that we were making things for the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors before we knew it was going to be here. We had no idea, but there were things that we could, like the frames, which were 10.5 feet tall. We made them in our basement. And then we made a closet for them because they sat there for 14 years until we could open up this place. So we're very happy to have them out there. Thank you.
I also, let's see.
I want you to take a turn on that prayer wheel when you go downstairs too. Make sure you turn it clockwise because that's where the good luck comes in. All right. There are 4 prayers written on the prayer wheel. You can try to see them, and then you'll know what you're praying. Basically, your prayer, whatever's in your head, but also what's on that prayer wheel is being said for you, and that's the feeling. And we made that when we had no idea.
Right, but we
Where
knew
it
it
would
would
go.
be there at the opening.
We
so
knew it would be there,
yeah.
and everybody should turn it. Okay.
Now, I just wanted to point out, if you haven't spent much time in the All One Gallery, that this is probably about the last month that this show is going to be up. We're going to be having to take it down, return the works, and then we're going to be hanging up a new show, which won't probably open until the spring. So do check out these amazing works by some of the greatest visionary artists that are alive today, and some who passed on. But
just so you know, when the show comes down, the Entheon will still be open on the 2nd and 3rd floor, so you can still come back, visit, meditate, bring friends, and come to the shop and all that
probably at
stuff.
a reduced cost.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So we'll be, for a short time, we'll just be closing that gallery.
I did want to mention also the Entheon book, which is just newly published, and it's got kind of a history of visionary art, and it's got like kind of a profile of many of the artists that are in this show. And I like to say that it's the story of our people, from cave art to rave art, you know? And
Yeah.
so, there is a engineer, one of the, I think, probably greatest engineers, building engineers that's in New York City. And he is spending his time working, or part of his time, working on how are we going to attach these massive heads to the building. Now, he's got a system, and it's like breaking them into things that will act like shingles. Like you hang one, and then you hang one over it, and then you hang one over it, so that the water runs off, and he can accommodate moisture behind it as well with what he calls weeping seams. So this is an envelope specialist for ornamental concrete buildings in New York City. He's like way beyond we could afford, but he took an interest in the project. Just like the guy who worked with me for 2 years to sculpt this building and would not take a penny for it. Okay? So a lot of love has gone into these designs, these ideas, and the kind of love from artists from all around the world is showing up to make something beautiful, something that evokes some of these magical, mystical experiences.
Before you go away, I just want to say Ryan Tottle, who was the sculptor, the double Oscar award-winning sculptor that worked with Alex on this building for nothing. His sculpture, just appreciate his sculpture. It's standing. It's a standing figure right next to the door, Ryan Tottle, and it's a beautiful
Guardian figure.
Disney-esque
Yeah.
character almost. Seriously, he worked for Disney for a lot of years.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, he helped me sculpt this as well. So the steeple head. It's the only windows really in built in the building of Entheon are the
eyes.
third eyes.
Third eye.
You can get up inside that head. It's a little scary, but it's yeah. But so this is So we'll have the nose piece, we'll have the mouth piece, and all these things will kind of hang on the building. The building was reinforced and made massive in order to receive all the weight, the extra weight that it's. So we're ready for it, and
Glass reinforced cast concrete. It's going to be a thin layer, but it still will be.
Yep. Okay.
They're
well,
heavy.
There
we are now.
I don't see the UFO yet.
It's a minimalist masterpiece. And this
Yeah.
is the Entheon for your stashes and your ashes.
Maybe not at the same time. I'm not sure.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful bronze urn that we felt our community, our interspiritual art church, could really benefit from having. And so this is the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors of our vision, of our future vision, which is to have this building on the corner, the upper corner of the property, overlooking a preserved, incredible preserved meadow, hundreds of acres of meadow, and it'll be up there. It's a project for the future. We're going to be really learning a lot about, the
ornamental concrete. How do you do it?
And how do you do it? And it is evolving. I mean, we're, as we're, having Balinese sculptors carve for us, 3D printing comes along. You know what I mean? You just don't know. So the technology is really growing. We may even have to print this one in place.
Yeah.
Just
Concrete
print it right
spitting
out.
spiders,
Right.
robo spider, concrete constructors. Who the hell knows? But But this is like the thing that we imagine in the future, the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. And when we build that, then we'll take our art out of this building. This building will become a
fully curated
museum
project
of visionary
and,
art
and
from around the world.
exhibition-based museum, of visionary art, so that we can have more of the community showing here. Well, that's the plan. Thanks for letting us share the plan on the Cosmic Creativity Night. So great. Well,
Thank you for being temple builders with us.
That's
See,
right.
your support tonight
That's right.
helps this all to happen. This is how it happened. It's like weird. I don't know. I don't think anybody exactly did it like this before, but it's something like that, right? People come together, whether they come together every week or they come together once, and they still help out. It helps out to make this happen. And the more of you that see this and say, hey, that'd be cool if they made that thing, it's kind of like just thinking it kind of builds a morphogenetic field. I'm sure that it was like all those conversations, like with all those people, like, oh, we should have this, like chapel thing, that eventually,
It's
here we are.
visioning it into being, and
Yeah.
you can do it too. Visioning it into being. You vision it. You have to make art about it. Whatever it is that you want. Take pictures, make your vision board. Vision board. Make a collage. Visioning it into being. So we keep putting this image up in front of people. Hundreds, thousands of people. We were just in Mexico, and we were just in, Miami, and we're just, putting this image up in front of people. And more people see it, the more reality comes in around it. You can do this.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, the imagination is crystallizing into physical form.
Make
so
an
it's
altar for your intention.
Right.
And then pray at it. Seriously.
No, you can make amazing stuff happen, obviously, And so thank you anyway for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for
now,
your attention.
Yeah.
Listen to this. We have some of my favorite people here. We have some of our favorite, the reason I say that is because they've been with us so many times before and haven't been here for a while. So the Clearlight Ensemble will be playing tonight in the, the dance hall.
The Moon Lounge.
The Moon Lounge. And they're going to do a little preview for you tonight, right here and now, okay? But
so they'll start setting up.
they're going to just get into their places. They
Yeah.
look pretty set up.
It's
But
nearly
when they
there.
get in their places, but while they're doing that, we're going to ask a couple of questions of you, and that is, or should we go for the?
Well, let's find out
Okay.
who came from the farthest away. Okay.
England.
England.
Okay. All right.
Across
Anybody
the
else?
Ocean. Yeah.
Anybody else come from very far? A little far?
Wappinger.
Well, but we were going to
it's
get
like-
to that, like who's from the nearest. But Pennsylvania's, that's a drive, yeah. Philadelphia, we get a lot of
Okay,
Philadelphia,
okay.
yes.
That's great.
Toronto, all right.
Yes.
Thank you. Rochester, that's a drive. Thank you for coming far, but are there anybody, so we have people from Wappinger already. Anybody else? Beacon. All right.
Thanks, friends. Hey, neighbors.
Brooklyn, all right.
Yay. Orange
Carmel.
County. All right.
Salisbury.
Salisbury. All right. Yay.
Really good. And for how many people is this the first time that you've ever been to a CoSM full moon ceremony? Okay, come on. Let's see it. That's like,
Wow,
it's like
wow.
maybe
Welcome
about
and
half.
Thank
less
you,
than
thank
half.
you, thank you.
Well, and we want to also give a special thanks to those people who are coming back. We're so glad you're coming back. And did anybody come back and bring somebody that didn't? You did? Oh, you get a gold star. You get a gold star. All right. Well, we're going to listen to these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Can I let you introduce yourselves, or what should I say? Tim Noon.
Yeah.
Dr. John Duberstein, and my friend, my very dear friend, Scott.
Okay, well, it's as Allyson said, it's been a while, but we used to going to be regulars, but I don't know why there's been a lapse.
Because
but
you're so popular and
We
busy.
met there.
That's
yeah, I actually met Tim Noon, the percussionist here, God knows how many years ago. I think you had just moved here when that occurred.
Yeah.
Anyway, our full ensemble is going to be playing for a couple of sets actually afterwards, so you'll meet the rest of our very talented crew. But for this, we're just going to play a very brief thing. This is Scott Peel on guitar and Tim Noon on tablas. So what we do basically is we mold our music inspired by the scales and modes of ancient Indian ragas, and we just do our own kind of extrapolation and interpretation of that. And for this very brief thing, we're going to use a really calm and joyful evening scale called Yaman, and see what we can do with it. And for those of you who are here in person, then we'll see you a little later with the rest of our crew. Thank you.
So here we are, and to just take a moment, we would like to invite everybody to look around you and find somebody that you haven't spoken to and you haven't met and introduce yourself to them right now. say as one.
Yeah.
Get your, as one. Here we go. Come on, male and female together.
I wonder if we should.
We will. It's on. As one.
As one, everyone.
As one. As one. As one. Yeah. If you wonder where the as one comes from, it comes from Amir, who used to guide us through the Egyptian thing, and we were on the Aswan. So it was very funny in a way. He would always say Aswan. But anyway.
You know, we are going to do the blessings and declarations.
Oh,
now.
yes. This is time for blessings and declarations. So
yeah.
everybody, start thinking about what you would like to either give a blessing to or you'd like to declare to the community, because you want to see something happen in your life, an intention perhaps.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe there's a project you're starting or something like that. You want to kind of just make a declaration, and we'll support you in that. So, wow, look at that.
What happened?
I don't know.
All right. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to, who has a blessing or a declaration?
Okay.
Hi. Hearing you guys talk has been really inspirational, and so I've never considered a temple because I didn't understand the concept. I was just sort of going along doing things, and so I think what I've got to do is kind of make maybe a collage or like something to put my vision into reality. Right. I make lots of art, but it's kind of, and it's really interesting hearing your art, Allyson, of the square, because my art's a lot about bricks, and I've been making bricks and bricks thinking, why am I making bricks? I don't know. They're everywhere, so, But then there's that, wow, it's the basis of reality. I'm trying to get what's in here into reality. And what am I trying to build? I had no conception. So I really want to give a declaration that I'm going to focus on figuring out what the hell I'm meant to do. So, yeah.
That's it. That's so true. Like when you don't know, that is your intent. That's your mission.
Yeah.
Is to find it.
Thank you so much, guys. You're an inspiration.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That was a beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you so much.
Any others on this side? I'll start over here and I'll come to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm a licensed veterinary technician, and I just got myself a new job. I'm going to be moving on from a corporate hospital over to a private practice. And this evening, I would just like to give a blessing to all of the patients that I'm going to have to leave behind. Some of these cats and dogs that I've built a rapport with for 7 years. So it's a very emotional transition for me. So I would just like to use this moment to give a blessing to all of my patients that I've worked with over the years. Thank you.
That's so beautiful.
I've had this thought for a while, but it's kind of cheesy, but faster than the speed of light is the speed of thought. In a moment, we can be galaxies away. We can see the distance between two atoms or the distance between two suns. And what amazes me about humanity is we can pull together. We can unify our thoughts in incredible ways. And in this dark time, I want to dedicate that power that we can make it happen, just like you've made this place, this gathering spot.
Thank you so much. A beautiful, beautiful blessing, really.
Any back here while I'm back here?
There's somebody right
Where?
over here, Alexa. All the way over to the other side.
Okay, we're going to come all the way over to the other side. Here we
There
go.
you go.
Thank you so much. My name is Valerie, and what you really brought out tonight in terms of like the creative and all of the faces of creativity in our joined minds brought me to think about Jordan Starr Smith, who is a transgender woman incarcerated at Attica, which is a male prison. And we've been trying to get her out of there, and there have been a lot of people working on that, but we've been calling it her New York State writing workshop. And she has, while she's in prison, written 28 songs, a play, and a whole series of essays. So if there's anybody, it's like kind of a young James Baldwin kind of thing. So if anyone's interested, come and talk to me.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. That's so good. Good to have them
Back
here in the
row.
space.
Back row.
Yeah, anybody?
I'm swiveling. Oh,
All the way over there again.
I'm coming through. We got got a nice aisle right now.
I like that
There you
aisle.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Donna. I'm an engineer, and I wanted to give a blessing to everyone who might be struggling with like mental health right now, especially like after the pandemic. I think a lot of folks ended up like having to do a lot of internal work, and a lot of truths ended up coming out. And I've struggled myself with some mental health over the past couple of years. And what I've learned is that we all have this fire inside of us, and sometimes we don't know how to take it out or how to express it or how to make sense of it. And just looking at the art right now, this is my first time here, I also had no idea who you were. I just woke up this morning being like, I'm so happy, I'm so aligned with the world, and I just like, anyways. So this is beautiful because it's amazing just like getting to see all this art. And I had 2 psychosis episodes, and in those moments, I was not under any substances, and a lot of it is like all these realities that like only love is real. And I think like it really, if people who are struggling with mental health can just like turn around and look around themselves and be like, hey, I'm not alone. Like I have my community that I can lean on. So just a blessing to anyone who's struggling right now.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, I think we have time for one more. Or do you want to do 2 more? We'll do one up back here, and we'll do one more after that.
Hi, my name is Jason. I just wanted to say thank you for holding this space for all of us. I think I speak for everyone when I say we love you very much. And I think it's very important that no matter where life takes you, to be yourself. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Jason. Thank you so much.
Be yourself. Okay, do we have any up at the front? You got one up here? Okay, we'll do you last. If you want to, if you have one that you didn't share with your friends later.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
And or come up here at front and share it with me. I would love to hear it. Alex would love to hear it afterwards.
Hello, everybody. My name is Stefan, and I actually want to ask for a blessing from this beautiful woman right here. Alexandra, when would you like to spend the rest of your life with me? Yes. And lastly, I want to bless our baby that is 10 weeks in the womb right now. So I want to, it's a wild time to be alive, and it's a wild time to bring a child into this world. And I just want to bless the rest of the pregnancy, that everything goes smoothly and super beautifully, that we have a nice home birth, and that's just like this. We set this child up for a super incredible experience, whatever they decide. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Super cool.
Here's to love. Well, that was really beautiful. Thank you so much, Stefan,
Love. That's right.
for setting that up.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Thank you for shining that here. How
Yes.
extraordinary. Well, blessings, you guys, all of you all, and thank you. How wonderful. And Stefan's an amazing painter. He'll be
He does
painting
love
later
it.
tonight.
You're
Check
painting
out
tonight.
his incredible work.
That's right.
So,
Oh, that's
enchanted
fantastic.
people.
Enchanted people. Well, tonight we may be thinking of loved ones, maybe even ourselves, who might be suffering distress in body or mind. Every CoSM full moon, we take a few moments to turn inside and hold in our heart those who might benefit from a healing prayer. To strengthen this blessing, recall the name of your loved one as we pray.
Great Spirit, thank you for blessing us with this day and for our precious body and soul. We feel the light of Spirit shining in our hearts. And as we breathe, a glow expands to surround us like a luminous sphere.
The brightness in our hearts magnifies as we join together in a gleaming web with countless others around the world, a luminous net of beings. From the superabundance of our combined energy field, we envision rays of healing light surrounding and protecting us, our friends and family.
May the light shine on all who need healing. May Spirit renew each soul with creative power to rebuild stronger and weave peace and harmony across the earth. May the water, air, fire, and earth be purified, and the web of life be strong and resilient.
Together we say, Amen.
Some who are with us may be grieving the loss of a family member or a friend. We send our deep condolences to all those who are in mourning. We acknowledge the sacred space of sorrow and compassion that we carry for all who are suffering on our planet. Remembering the brevity of life, we appreciate the beauty of every precious day.
Almighty Spirit, we remember the souls of beloved ones who have passed on. Cherish them in our heart. They remain close. To evoke their memory, recall their names as we reflect together for a moment in silent prayer, sending a wave of love from our being to theirs. And together we say, may their memory be a blessing.
Wow, well, I do believe that we're going to be
Visited upon.
by the future news
By the
with
future news.
Alexa.
This is
All right.
Yeah.
I'm so blissed out right now, I have to just say. You guys crushed it. That was amazing. We really pulled it off. My God, give it some knocks. Yay! Congratulations, by the way, on the baby to be. That's so amazing. And thank you all so much for being here. I just realized before the ceremony started, this is actually my 10-year anniversary of visiting CoSM for the first time.
Get out.
And I just want to say, like, this is the coolest community I've ever been part of, and that I'll always be part of. And I'm here for this mission for life, man. Like, I just love you guys so much. I love it. I'm telling you, coming to this place, I was really trying to expand what love meant to me. And
For
Hello?
those of you
Oh,
who
there, just-
for those of you who don't know what Alexa really does around here, she's a big shot, okay? She's
Oh,
not
stop
only
it.
the MC of this show, but she also came in as a graphic designer, became the head of the media lab, and she is
No
in
pressure.
charge of programming too. I mean, like this girl, you took it on.
It's
You took
because
it
I
on, my
believe in the
friend.
mission, man. I
All
really
right,
do.
So if you want
and-
programming, this is the person
She
you're talking
designed the Entheon book, okay, with us, but
take
a look
she
at the
put
book.
it
It's been
together
great
there,
working.
so
Alexa's so
it's a
great.
beauty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been an epic decade, and I'm so stoked that you're all here with us tonight. Each event brings unique beauty and magic, and I'm so honored to work with you and this team. Give it up for the CoSM team. They're amazing.
team.
They're amazing.
The team behind that screen there.
Yeah, Trevor,
Massive
Sean,
screen.
TJ, they're back there. They're like the whiz back there. We love them. So anyways, we're excited to we're going to have fun tonight. We're down to clown. We're feeling good, fabulous. So we're just getting started. After the ceremony concludes, they're going to do a little final prayer benediction. Hang out in Entheon. It's open until 11. You two will be wandering about.
We'll be here for a while.
We'll be here. And as we've mentioned, Clear Light Ensemble, weren't they amazing? That was just half of them. There's 3 more people that are part of their ensemble. So they're going to be doing a performance in the Moon Lounge in the Gray House. That's also our heart center of the night. There'll be some amazing live painting by David Frank, Perry Kroger, Stephen Lucas Allen. I think I got a little dyslexic just now. And Chris Sams, give it up for them. They're the best. Also, the Mrs. Alexandra Wentz, she will be offering astrology readings tonight, and obviously she's supercharged right now, so I would get a full birth chart reading from her for sure. You can sign up for that in the Gray House shop, contribute to their honeymoon fund or whatever. We're so about it. She's offering 25-minute sessions, and it's an opportunity for you to get a personalized reading, so do it. Definitely head over to the Mushroom Cafe because we have some delicious food. We have a mushroom chowder. It's a must try. You must do it. And we also have some winter drink specials tonight, which I highly recommend. I got to taste test them, not to brag, but we have an herbal marshmallow cacao, a cinnamon almond chai, and a peppermint mocha. And we have these really healthy, not poisonous marshmallows from our girl Morgan from Jersey. So they're made with love. Definitely fuel up, drink lots of water, hang out with each other. And if you're looking to make the most of your evening, we have a few beds available in our co-ed dorm space in the Gray House, the visionary Victorian. So if you are interested in expanding your trip and staying the night and then hanging out tomorrow, because we have art church and
Yeah, we got our church
and a couple
tomorrow.
other things going tomorrow.
How many people have
consider-
been to our church? Okay.
Well, we need to
So-
get more.
So for the rest, there's a lot of people come to our church. I wanted you to know that it takes place in the art lab, that it is an opportunity to make art together, basically. Everybody just makes art in silence and to not personal silence, but there's music. So there's a musical playlist. And our theme, of course, is cosmic creativity. So we'll talk a little bit about that first, and then we make art together, and then we talk about it. And we talk to people out in the world. We talk to our Zoomers. You know, we have some regulars.
We love
you
the
know,
Zoomers.
People from all
Big
over the world
fans.
that come to our church every month, and some that are new. So we would love you to consider coming to our church. It's like our favorite activity. We really love it because it's time to make art. Just sit down, shut up, and make art.
Giddy
I mean,
up.
Really.
3 to 5. Yeah.
3 to 5,
3 to 5.
exactly. And from 10 to 11:30, we have yogic self-defense with our head of security, Ruby. It's a really interesting class. It's not your traditional yoga class, though. You think you're going to be doing downward dogs the whole time, maybe mentally. He is a very fascinating man, and it's an opportunity to learn about breath and how to get out of a bind and learn about just how you can get out of a tough situation through communication. And it's a fascinating class. I highly recommend it. You already mentioned Art Church. If you want to stay overnight, check it out.
There may be a room, and
There is.
And I want to give a little boost to start a painting because I'm going to be teaching
Boost it.
start
Go.
a painting.
Tell
in
us about
March.
it.
And there are just a few seats left in the class. It's an early registration. It seems like we're getting. So I just want to let you know, because you came all the way this way, that if you would like to start a painting after the new year, start it with us. We're going to have 5 guest speakers. Alex will be one of them, and they'll talk about how they start a painting. Okay, so we're going to do that in March. It's a fun sleepover pajama party for people who like to make art or would like to be making art with a group. But I'm finding that the applications that are coming in are just super. I mean, there's some really,
That's so exciting.
really good painters want to come and start a painting together.
I mean, why not?
I think it's
You know what I'm
great.
saying?
And you don't have to have any experience at all. It's an all levels class. I just want to be clear about that. You can sign up for this experience and journey with people of all levels. I'm really excited about it.
Amen to that. Thank you for throwing that plug. We have a lot of workshops that
there's
are been
workshops, too.
posted. We have the Visionary Painting Intensive that is held by Alex and Allyson in the summer. That's for immediate to advanced painters. We're accepting applications for that. And we're doing the
You
vision.
just have to know about it because applications will be going out like in January. So if you're an advanced or intermediate to advanced painter that would like to paint with us for a week, it's an opportunity. We only take like maybe 21 people in the class. It's a very intimate class with Alex and I. So, and we teach twice during the summer, and that's it. So if you have any interest in doing that or know somebody who does, please just alert them that the application will go out in January and be due in February, and and then the class is in March.
Yeah,
so.
and if you are more of an all levels or beginner painter, you guys also teach the Visionary Art Intensive,
That's
which
right.
is a little
That's
bit
all
later in the
levels.
year. So a lot of learning opportunities. We have Cloud Chord coming back. He teaches producing and performing electronic music. He's doing a one-day Visionary guitar playing class. We have
Ableton.
Ableton certified instructor. We have Perry Kroger, who's painting tonight. He's teaching a create your own tarot deck workshop. We have David Heskin and Aloria Weaver teaching sacred geometry.
Masters,
Autumn Sky
absolutely.
teaching magic realism. So we
Masters.
are and we're not done releasing these workshops, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of good stuff in the queue. We have next week, we have our last celestial celebration of the year, the winter solstice. Park Breezy, Feel, Malachi, my boy Aaron, Zone Drums, doing some drumming. We have some amazing live painting. That's going to be a party. And it's going to be, we have the bonfire for that last
Yes,
one.
we're going to have a bonfire next month.
And
yes. I mean, next week.
Next
month.
week? Yeah, it's next week. We don't stop here. We love yerba mate. So we are really excited about all of our offerings. And look out for each other tonight.
Yes.
If you need anything at all, please find someone with a staff badge. If you need grounding, we do have a dedicated peer support space. Our friend Julio is here to make sure that if you just need a friend and you need to just ground out, we got you. It's the night of the square. It's the night of the fourth. So we're going to be grounded.
Keep your feet on the ground.
And I love you all so much. If you need anything, let me know. But I'll pass it back to you two. And
Thank
then
you, Alexa.
we'll giddy up.
Everybody, give it up for Alexa. Okay, don't leave. We're going to just do one more poem. Okay, here we go.
This is called Dedication to Love. From the core of our hearts, we dedicate ourselves to the complete and full expression of love in all our activities and in all our relationships.
Love is the soul's medicine, a refuge in our hearts, protecting us from utter despair. Finding compassion in the eyes of the beloved and the stranger gives us the courage to endure.
May love sensitize us with care and wisdom. May love help heal the sickness and wounds of life. May love enable us to forgive and accept ourselves.
May love enable us to forgive and accept each other. May love help us overcome our cruelty and bitterness, our greed and jealousy, our ignorance and delusion.
May love rule our hearts and minds, directing us to reach out, doing our best to benefit others, to heal suffering, to give gifts, to create beauty in the infinite network that is our world.
A heart of loving kindness pours creative grace into the world to alleviate pain and mend the heart net. To the healing art of love, we dedicate ourselves.
May any merit generated by this gathering be offered to the benefit and liberation of all beings.
Happy full moon.